Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with an If I Wrote. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is an If I Wrote? Because you're new? Well, it's very simple. We like to play pretend that a comic book company gave us the rights to any comic character or team that we would like to play around with, and they said, do whatever you want to do. The only thing limiting you is your imagination. Now, this is all about Riri Williams. Created in 2015 by Brian Michael Bendis and Mike Deodato, she made her first appearance as Riri Williams in Invincible Iron Man number 7, and then in The Armor in Invincible Iron Man number 9. She's gone on to be the absolute ultimate Mary Sue as far as her intelligence, as far as her capabilities, even taking over Latveria, and this angered readers to no end. So I decided, okay, let's see what we could do with this character. To be honest, at the time of the first recording of this video, Riri Williams was the #1 requested character to do, and we figured in order to make her an interesting character, the first thing we have to do is to remove her from Tony Stark. She's no longer the second coming of Tony Stark. She needs to be her own character, so we have to basically break that link. So no, she's not going to be trying to be Iron Man. She's not going to have a Tony Stark AI hanging over her. This isn't exactly Firestorm 2.0, where Tony Stark is being Professor Stein and Riri Williams is being Ronnie Raymond. We're going original here, ladies and gentlemen. See, to me, that always made her just a man with boobs. She's trying to be this guy, but with boobs. That's it. And in our case, we want her to have made her own armor on her own, sure, but for different reasons. Or, as a wise man in a movie once said,
able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
So yes, we are going to have her build her own suit of armor. And yes, it's going to be out of scraps. It's going to be out of stuff that she can buy. Stuff that she could buy at a scrap yard or a hardware store. It's going to be something that would be easily accessible for a person of her age and means. I also think that, now definitely in the beginning, that she was a little bit uneven. She built this armor. She was a huge genius, but then at times she seems to be unaware of the full capacity of her armor, and that just didn't make sense. So one of the ways we're going to get around this, one of the ways we're going to stop her from being an Iron Man clone, is that she is going to be a technopath. Unlike the sociopath she is right here in issue 8 of her own Iron Man series. Along with the ability to communicate with computers and machines, she's going to have a secondary power of being able to see how things connect and see how things work together. Plug A goes into slot B, which will activate C, will become very instinctual. And with these powers, she's actually able to start a business, get some money into the house, help the households, get some in the coffers where she can do her superheroing. However, she's not very good at business, and opens herself up to a takeover, and this allows us to bring in some villains who are not super powered. And not really villains, they're just very good businessmen. Also, the name Ironheart has got to go. I mean, come on, at this point we all know there's a Japanese porn movie called Ironheart that is... hold on, I'll be right back. Well, I will be darned, that's a real thing. Who knew? Seriously. Wow. Okay, so look, hey, I have nothing against Japanese porn. That being said, I'm not so sure you want to name your 15-year-old superhero after a Japanese porn movie. So let's call her something different, like maybe Diamond, because that's only a stripper's name. So Diamond, using her powers to see how things connect and how things work, and her ability to communicate with machines, is able to create wondrous inventions on the level of Doom, Stark, or Richards, and in this case, she has built for herself a crystal-encased suit of armor, with all kinds of nifty equipment built right into it. Now, the entire thing is made of nanocarbon filaments, reinforced by weavable, flexible, ballistic cloth, empowered by piezoelectric effects solar energy and Riri Williams' own body heat. And if that's too much technobabble, she's basically in a big diamond suit that doesn't need any of Tony Stark's tech for it to run. I figure it would be silver and blue in color and would look absolutely badass in the hands of the right artist. And she's 15 for cripe's sake, but look how she's drawn. She's usually drawn with some sort of emphasis on her sexuality rather than being young. Even in this iteration where she's supposed to be intelligent, they don't give her the emotional level of a kid, and that's something we need to change. We need to let her be a 15-year-old girl. She was 13, and she was impulsive, and she fell in and out of crushes very easily, and she dressed weird. And basically, flat-chested, she looked and she acted like a 13-year-old girl, and that's how we're going to treat Riri Williams. Because they write her like she's 30. She's not 30. Stop writing her as if she's 30. And following that train of thought, we're going to treat her like a 15-year-old girl who, before her powers, she was a normal middle-class girl, went to school. Some thought she was a bit of a nerd. Some, of course, she had a few friends like everybody does. But now she's got to deal with this sudden fame. Now she's got people hounding her for autographs, people who know who she is, at least in the armor, and she is just going to have an emotional reaction, which we don't see in the regular comic book. And it's not only going to affect her, it's going to affect her family as well. And I think that would be just something that has not been explored yet that really should when you're dealing with a young superhero. Also, her first super battle is going to be epic. And I've got a great team of villains to do it. And it's a team that became a joke in Marvel Comics eyes, who once was a Thor villain, who they used to be a threat, but now are just there to be kicked around by every newcomer. And I'm talking about the Wrecking Crew. And she is gonna get her ass whipped. She's gonna get her butt kicked. And I think that's the way it should be, because it's going to show this. Even though she's got the power to create the machinery and she's got the know-how to operate it, that doesn't make her a great fighter. Too many times, especially in Marvel Comics, you will have the new go, oh my gosh, I've got these superpowers, so I'm going to rush out and I will beat Dr. Doom. You know, it's just, no, because what it does, as it did with the Wrecking Crew over these years, is make the villain look weak in order to make your hero look strong. In order for your hero to look strong, they have to overcome adversity, and that's what we're going to have here. And I think this should be done with more superheroes and superheroines, and in this case, we are going to definitely have Riri Williams question whether she wants to be a superhero. It's that old saying that Mike Tyson had, where it's like everybody's got a plan until you're punched in the face. Thinking you want to go out and be a superhero is a lot different than being in a superhero battle, and I think it would be awesome to explore that with this character. Something else we're going to change that started up in the original books with Riri Williams is that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to have a hostile relationship with her. They see her as a rank amateur who could get people hurt, because she is. Not like in the books where they bowed and kowtowed to her. They are going to be watching her every move, because they don't like the fact that they cannot stop her from creating this kind of tech. Sure, they could take it away, but it is her power, it's her ability. She could just go back to her garage and create something out of a few scraps in the cave with scraps, and that's it. And S.H.I.E.L.D. hates that, so Sharon Carter is going to be watching her like a hawk. Maybe even mentoring her. That's up for debate. Most of, if not all of these changes, of course, are to make her human again. She's a Mary Sue, or at least she was. I'm going to get to that in just a touch. See, right now, and when she was created, she was equal to Tony Stark. She a 15-year-old girl. And there's no wrong that she could do, even in the beginning. Now, we want to humanize her. This Marvel age is amazing because it's pandering as a form of representation. It just doesn't work. If you start her at the beginning where she should be, we could watch her grow. We could relate to her, because all of us have been in that particular kind of situation before. And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to bring to this character. A lot of people say she's a bad character. I don't believe that. I don't believe that there are bad characters. I believe there are bad writers. Neil Gaiman proved that with Prez and Brother Power the Geek, even though I think the original Brother Power the Geek was good. And you know what? In all honesty, if I'm giving credit where credit is due, I think Eve Ewing is doing a fine job. Not a great job. There's still a lot to go here. She's still treated like a Mary Sue. Adults still, oh, please, Riri, tell us the way to go. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it. It's a lot of fun to watch teenagers grow. That's why we had so much fun with Spider-Man, and I really wish Marvel would get back to the old-fashioned Marvel age. So there you go, gang. That's how I would have made Riri Williams a better character. What do you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you do differently? Of course, they can't do it. They've already established that or maybe they could. They could always retcon her into having superpowers. It would make sense. It really would. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. That's very important to help out with I need the interaction for the algorithm that's screwing me around now. Don't forget to support on Patreon or Ko-Fi. Link is in the description below. On Ko-Fi, you can commission a video and tell me what to do on any of the topics that I usually do it on. And that would be fun. I look forward to that kind of thing because I love doing these videos. And sometimes someone would have an idea that is so far outside of my particular box, it's just entertaining to me as well. Also, I'm on BitChute, so if you don't mind going on over there, checking out the videos, and maybe leaving a little tip, that would be awesome. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.